So here's my philosophy. I'm really seeing my diagnosis with cancer as my spirit guide. This is going to be a spiritual path for me. The whole hashtag fuck cancer really doesn't resonate with me. The way that I work with my clients and my belief system is around really incorporating the dark and the shadow. That the dark and the shadow is not evil. It's that there's actually wisdom in it. And therefore I'm really working with cancer as being my spirit guide, and really teaching me some really important lessons. And I think the lessons that it's teaching me is, well, one is that if you haven't heard of Dr. Gabor Mate, he's a medical physician, and he's really linking up about diseases and such as autoimmune diseases and cancers that are linked to people's personalities, and about being too nice, about having some facade, holding in repressing emotions, and that really resonates with me. That link, and so I know that what cancer is teaching me is about looking at those aspects of myself. And time again, he's given cases about the cure to this is about authenticity, about really being fully expressed. And so those are the pieces that I have control over, that I know that I can work on, about not biting my tongue, about really speaking my truth, and about not avoiding conflict and not people pleasing, and really just advocating for myself to express all the different emotions, all the big emotions. Like, that's going to be the healing path for me. I think I give this analogy about this story about the man who was watching this butterfly try to get out of its chrysalis, and how he was watching this butterfly trying to get out of the chrysalis, and it was really, really struggling, and he felt really sorry for it. And so he got some scissors and went over to the chrysalis, and then he started to kind of snip away the cocoon. And so to help the butterfly out. And so then the cocoon opened, the chrysalis opened, and then the butterfly came out and just fell to the ground and eventually died. That the point of that story is that the butterfly actually just needed to do that struggle, is to break through the chrysalis, and through that it pushes out, and all the enzymes, all those nutrients start to just really get deeply entrenched in its wings and its body, so that it fully comes out as a butterfly. And I see that this is my process, is that through chemo, I'll probably be going into a cocoon. And this is like a process of cutting the fat out, is to learn some lessons, to really deeply ingrain these lessons, these truths about being more authentic, being more out there, being more expressed, and just shedding these things, shedding obligations, shedding the shoulds, shedding what I'm supposed to do instead of what's truly me, so that I can really emerge just much stronger, much more vibrant, much more me. And that's what I'm looking forward to. This also, I think, is also the spiritual path, that as I do more and more of this deeper work, and as I get older, I'm opening up more and more realms into the spirit world, and things are not just coincidence. I recently found out that my maternal great grandparents both died of pancreatic cancer. And pancreatic cancer is, I shouldn't have gotten it, not this age, where usually people who get pancreatic cancer get it much later in their lives, 50s, 60s, 70s, and I'm 43. And one of my mentors, who's this wise sage, and I've for years I've been doing this intergenerational work, intergenerational trauma work, and so this so resonated with me when I had a call with him and let him know about my diagnosis. He said, "Kirk, this is not your illness." This is your cultural heritage. And what you've gotten, not only did you get what you inherited, this cancer, but you also inherit their gifts, their strengths, their wisdom, their ability to transmute that, to transmute the oppression, to transmute the pain and suffering that I'm in this emerging generation to heal the wounds. To really push forward to a new generation. And that just really resonated with me. I don't know if a lot of you know, but the past several years I've been really doing a lot of deep intergenerational trauma work with my two grandfathers. And especially like as I got deeper into men's work, and how in their mid-20s they were married, starting their families. World War II happened, and everything was taken away, and they were put into the internment camps. And the past couple of years, I've really been working with being a vessel for their repressed anger and sadness. Because I don't think that they were able to fully feel those feelings. They had to be strong for their families. So I took it upon myself to really be that vessel to let go and just feel those feelings of anger and sadness and unfairness. And what's interesting, my mentor was talking to me about how where my cancer is, it's in my lung, or not my lungs, sorry. It's in my pancreas, and it's also in the liver. And that's the third chakra. And the third chakra is about self-expression, identity, anger. This is also where you have your power, empowerment. And it just all lines up. These are the things I've been working on for years. This is what was taken away for my grandfathers and all of my relatives. And just the intergenerational trauma, like, of course, if this is going to happen, looking at this like in an intergenerational way, like I'm preparing myself for this path, that if my maternal great grandparents got it, that they were the ones who immigrated to America. So they had, that struggle, that difficulty, those atrocities and their experiences. And then their children, my grandfathers and, my grandparents, that they went through the whole internment camps and that trauma, that pain, and my parents, my dad was 1, my mom was born in camp, and getting that. And so on that level, that spiritual level, really wanting to really work with that and resolve that pain, that suffering, and to let that be expressed differently. And I think it's poignant because often I think Asian Americans are considered, the model minority, or they're actually like the invisible minority. And part of my journey is to express the story that we are minorities, that there has been such suffering. But because of our culture, because we don't want to rock the boat, because we were taught shigataganai. Which means it can't be helped. To not put up a fight. To put your head down and to make what's best. And I think that's beautiful. And that's what was needed for that generation. And for my generation, something else is needed. Something very different is needed. Anger is fucking needed. Voice is needed. Expression is needed. Representation is needed. Us to be out there is needed. Our ancestors, our relatives' stories need to be heard. We're not going to be clumped in as the fucking mild minorities. We have suffered. We have worked hard to where we've gotten to. And so part of my mission and part of about doing these videos is about really speaking towards that. Because we are part of American history. We are essential to this. But often it is not talked about what we have given. Things like mindfulness and Buddhism. My grandfather, he was a Buddhist minister. He's one of the forefounders bringing in Buddhism to this country, and yet that's not recognized. It's being culturally appropriated from all the Asian countries. And that's upsetting because while my grandfather was put into the internment camps, like a lot of this stuff had to be hidden away. And on the outside had to look like a Christian church where you have pews and you have gospels and you have a minister. The way that we practice our sect of Buddhism is very different than what is practiced in Kyoto, Japan, where my sect of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism is practiced. And so just to bring more to light, to show just to give honor and to give gratitude and thanks to all those people who've brought these wonderful things. And so I think that's also my spiritual path and taking on cancer, to really express these things. Also, I'm seeing cancer as this beautiful, beautiful gift. This gift about really seeing the preciousness of life that I've always, I tell my clients, about that death is the greatest teacher, and about really appreciating life. And maybe I would have those moments of really seeing the preciousness of life, but this would only happen once in a while. Maybe if I went to a funeral or saw a really powerful movie, or saw, a moving sunset, or had this really amazing deep exchange with somebody and really just saw the sanctity and the preciousness of life. But every single day since I've gotten this diagnosis, every single day, I've had the gift of really feeling the preciousness of this life. I could have gone on for many more years, decades, 20, 30, 40 years, and still only have spurts of this. But now, every single day, I just feel, well, deep into my bones and my muscles, the preciousness, the sanctity of this life. And seeing how only like seeing my friends and family come and being able to say I love you and be able to bond in deep, intimate ways that I've always wanted to. And yeah, I've had these times, and now I'm having just, it's coming out even more and more and more, and I'm getting to connect in ways that I've always wanted to, in deeper, more compassionate, more intimate ways, and more frequently. That's such a huge gift, and so I'm really, really grateful for this. So no matter how this turns out, I know that the rest of my days, that this has been a huge, huge gift of really appreciating my life. And so I just want to let you know that I'm in a really, really good headspace. That the way that I feel about going on this journey, on this path, I feel really positive. I feel so in alignment with how I'm going on this. I'm in a good place. And if you want to continue following me, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going to keep putting out videos and trying to be as authentic and real about just this whole path. I think part of this is also a way to really introduce a lot of you to all these different alternative healing. I'm going to be doing, of course, the Western medicine, and also exposing indigenous ceremonies and Eastern medicine, plant medicine, and all that, to really bring in much more validity to this, to just doing a real holistic healing path. So, thank you.